It's literally a measure of the variability in between beats of your heart, and it gives us some very, very important information. So first, a little backstory on what it actually is and why it matters. We think that if, for example, our heart rate is going 60 beats per minute, we often think that that means it's just going to be one every second, and it's going to go kind of like this. But what really should happen is that the heart rate speeds up to 62, 64, goes down to 58 or 56, so it actually goes more like this, and then it averages to 60. So there's the average heart rate, and then there's the variability that happens in between beats. And so it's very important to understand that, because that actually gives us some very powerful insight into how the body's working. What I mean by that is the nervous system controls the heartbeat, of course, and what we want to have happen is we want the nervous system to be able to sense what's going on in the internal environment and be able to make adjustments to do whatever is appropriate. You know, if for example, if I'm in this room and a hungry tiger walks into the room, my nervous system should ramp up my heart rate, should release adrenaline, should send blood and resources and energy out to my muscles so I can have a chance to run away or fight, or even, who knows if I'll even be able to do that. But having that type of response is totally appropriate. And likewise, these more subtle changes that happen, for example, as we breathe in, there's changes in air pressure, for example. As we breathe out, there's other changes in air pressure, and we should see the heart rate vary a little bit with the breath, in different phases of the breath. As we inhale, it should increase a little bit. As we exhale, it should decrease a little bit. And so we should see, ideally in a healthy state, should see these subtle changes in the heart rate that vary in synchrony with different phases of the breath. It tells us how effectively we're keeping up with the stresses and challenges of life, because if we're not, for example, let's say that I've had a rough day because I'm stressed out because of the news and what's going on in the world, because there's challenges and businesses are closing, the economy's going down, and I'm staying at home and I'm having challenges managing all of this and being present with my family, and we're having conflict, and my health, I'm having trouble getting healthy food, and my health is bad, I'm not sleeping at night, and all these things are happening. I have so much stress that's taken up my bandwidth. I'm going to be locked in the fight or flight state of my nervous system, and that's where I'm going to have this consistent signal to the heart to beat this way. It's going to actually come from a different branch, the sympathetic or the fight or flight branch of the nervous system, and that's where I'm going to be in this state where it's a flat rate. If, on the other hand, I am able to keep up with all of those stresses and challenges, I can spend more time in the parasympathetic or the rest and digest branch of the nervous system, and that a big part of that is the vagus nerve, VAGUS, and the vagus nerve is another input into the heart, nerve that controls the heart rate, the heartbeat. And when we're able to keep up with all of the challenges of daily life, there's more bandwidth, more availability for the vagus nerve to exert control on the heart, and it is what feeds into this system of measuring pressure change, for example. So as pressure changes in the inhale, as pressure changes on the exhale, the vagus nerve will change its signal to the heart to make these subtle changes in heart rate. So a good way to think about it is, I only have, as a human being, I have a finite amount of energy to handle stress and challenge and to adapt to whatever's happening in my environment. And if I've used up all of that ability with the stresses of daily life, whether it be physical stresses of working out or non-physical challenges from work and other things happening, if I've used it up there, then I don't have as much bandwidth to adapt, and my heart rate's going to be flat like this. If, on the other hand, I have enough bandwidth to adapt where I'm able to handle everything that's going on in my life, and I still have some left over to adapt to these subtle changes in my environment, then I'll be able to see these changes happen. So it's basically a way to answer that question of how well am I handling everything that's going on, and how much more bandwidth, how much more capacity do I have left to take on additional challenges. So it's important for health overall. We want to have that bandwidth to be able to power the immune system if, heaven forbid, we do get sick or something like that. We also, of course, when we're thinking about sports and fitness and performance, this is a very important measurement tool because it tells us how effectively we've recovered from our last workout or competition, and when we're ready to challenge ourselves again and take on that next bout of exercise or challenge or competition. So really powerful principle or concept for measuring our current status. One, for example, is this Aura ring. So I wear it on this finger, so it doubles as my wedding ring and also my Aura ring. So this doesn't do much for me, at least in terms of tracking activity and working out and things like that, but very, very good for sleep tracking. So I wear it during sleep. It measures all that data and then syncs up with the phone in the morning. So it's not transmitting during sleep, no issues with EMFs and things like that. It tracks when I'm in deep sleep, light sleep, REM sleep, and it tracks my heart rate variability during sleep. So sleep is a time when I should be recovering, when I should be in that parasympathetic rest and digest neurological state, and when I should have high heart rate variability. And yet I and many others who have these rings will see that heart rate variability during sleep will actually vary significantly day over day, week over week, month over month, depending on how effectively we're keeping up with the stresses and challenges of daily life, exercise, physical, and also non-physical. And so that's been a big tool for me. The other one is the BioStrap. This is one that I wear here, and this also has a matching, it was a chest strap, now a forearm strap for measuring heart rate during exercise and in real-time heart rate variability during exercise, which is very cool. And there's also a pod that goes on the shoe for measuring activity. So very sophisticated activity tracker, and it also measures sleep. So I would say a little more even robust than the Aura ring, but also more, that's a little not quite as sleek of a user profile either, or the ring is even easier. This a little more bulky, but in my opinion, definitely worth it. And so for this, I can get real-time heart rate information. Like we'll do another segment on the importance of looking at how high your heart rate can get during exercise and the speed at which you can increase your heart rate, and then the rate at which it recovers and goes back down in between bouts of exercise. So that's another topic, something that we can use and measure with this here. But these tools have been really cool for me personally. I've been able to see how things like the time at which I go to bed, how that impacts my sleep quality and my heart rate variability during sleep. Wearing blue blocking glasses, the orange tinted glasses that look so cool that my wife loves when I wear. Actually, she took her a while to get into them, but now she has her own pair, so it's great. She looks really good in them too. Hi, honey. So I've seen that. I've seen the time at which I eat dinner impact it. If I eat too close to bedtime, my heart rate variability and sleep quality is not as great. And then certainly the effects of exercise, the effects of using the newbie. We'll do another segment on how using the newbie in certain ways can help reset the autonomic nervous system, get us more into that rest and digest state. And I've seen how that can actually double my heart rate variability from where it had been, and seen some other data on some experiments that we're doing there. So their heart rate variability overall is a very powerful window into our current health and capacity. A very important variable. I encourage you to track it with something, whether it be the Aura ring, the BioStrap, or other tools out there. And I hope you can see how it's valuable and why you might want to track it. And I hope this also kind of clarified, or at least helped you understand what that variable is, because a lot of people have heard about it but don't necessarily understand what heart rate variability is. So knowing that the heart rate should not actually be constant, but that it should vary with the breath. Hopefully all that makes sense, and you're able to see how and why that's something that's worth paying attention to. And please share your experiences, share what you notice in your own patterns of heart rate variability and what moves the needle for you, either good or bad. So we look forward to interacting with you more here on the post, and thank you. Thanks for watching.